Discerning Eye News. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Discerning Eye News. On November 26, 2021, the WHO, which is the WHO, the World Health Organization, designated the variant B.1.1.529 a variant of concern named Omicron. On the advice of the WHO's Technical Advisory Group on Virus Evolution, this variant has a large number of mutations, some of which are concerning. Preliminary evidence suggests an increased risk of reinfection with this variant as compared to other variants of concern. The number of cases of this variant appears to be increasing in almost all provinces in South Africa. The current SARS-CoV-2 PCR diagnostics continue to detect this variant. Several labs have indicated that for one widely used PCR test, one of the three target genes is not detected, called the S gene. And this test can therefore be used as a marker for this variant, pending sequencing confirmation. Using this approach, they say, has been detected at faster rates than previous surges in infections, suggesting that this variant may have a growth advantage.
Do we expect to be seeing more lockdowns again, new lockdowns, more mandates?
I don't know, George. It's really too early to say. We just really need to, as I've said so often, prepare for the worst.
As Omicron has been designated a variant of concern, there are several actions the WHO recommends countries to undertake, including enhancing surveillance and sequencing of cases, sharing genome sequences on publicly available databases such as GSAD, reporting initial cases or clusters to the WHO, performing field investigations and laboratory assessments to better understand if Omicron has different transmission or disease characteristics or impacts effectiveness of vaccines, therapeutics, diagnostics, or public health and social measures. The United States will restrict travel for non-U.S. citizens from South Africa and 7 other countries starting Monday, part of a global effort to stem the spread of the heavily mutated Omicron variant of COVID-19, according to senior Biden administration officials. In addition to South Africa, other countries included in the new restrictions, some of them are Zimbabwe, Namibia, Mozambique, and a few others. There was no indication Friday of how long the bans will remain in place. So this is the news that's been going on the last few days, but there's been some interesting phenomena that has been spreading across the interwebs concerning this new variant. And so let us talk about anagrams. First, what is an anagram? According to Wikipedia, an anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. So, for example, if we rearrange or did the anagram of the word binary, we can transform that using the same letters only once into brainy, and the word adobe into abode. Okay, this is rearranging the words. Did you know that the new virus strain is almost an anagram, or it is an anagram for 2 words? One of these being moronic, and the other being oncomere, which means, which I'm going to read here. You should see it on the screen. Let me make sure it's up on my end here. And oncomere is a microRNA that is associated with cancer. MicroRNAs are short RNA molecules about 22 nucleotides in length, essentially microRNAs to prevent them from coding for a specific protein. The dysregulation of certain microRNAs has been associated with specific cancer-forming events. Many different oncomeres have been identified in numerous types of human cancers. So now we have got the Omicron variant that is supposedly sweeping the world. Did you know there was also a video game named Omicron The Nomad Soul? The Nomad Soul is set in a futuristic city known as Omicron, which is a densely populated metropolis on the world of Phaedon. Omicron exists beneath an enormous crystal dome, which was constructed to protect against the ice age that Phaedon entered into after its sun's extinction. The city is split into different sectors. Because it is forbidden for the inhabitants to leave their respective sectors, each area has developed independently, which is reflected by the divergent lifestyles and architecture. So in this video game called Omicron, just spelt with a K instead of a C, people are literally under permanent lockdown.
Drink Queta-Cola, the energizing drink with radioactive quanta extract. Queta-Cola, the drink for today's youth. Be cool, be you. Drink Queta-Cola.
I literally played this game when I was a teenager. At the start of this game, the player is asked by an Omicronian police officer named Kyle 669 to leave their dimension and enter Omicron within his body. After doing so, the player continues with the investigation of serial killers that Kyle 669 and his partner were originally working on. Eventually, they end up uncovering information that suggests that the serial killer they are looking for is not human, but an actual demon. There are members of an apparent underground anti-government movement contact the player and confirm their suspicions. The investigation deepens and uncovers further information that one of Omicron's chief police commanders, Commandant Gandhar, is a demon pretending to be human and luring human souls into Omicron from other dimensions. All right, so after the brief victory that happened within the game, the anti-government movement is revealed to be named the Awakened. And so they work in tandem with an ancient religious order led by Boz, that's B-O-Z, a mystical being that exists in purely electronic form on the computer networks of Omicron. The Awakened refer to the protagonist as the Nomad Soul, since they have the ability to change bodies at will. The Nomad Soul learns afterwards that what is going on in Omicron is merely an extension of an old battle between mankind and demons. It just goes on and on and on, as you're seeing here. So the plot of this game is literally transhumanism, and it has many parallels to what is taking place today. And unfortunately, what's quite interesting is that if the player who travels, his soul travels into this game, if he dies, then his actual body dies in the world that he's actually in. So that is it for now. Until the next time we speak. Take care.
Discerning Eye News